Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Folks, welcome to a brand new episode of Trainwreck tonight. 284, sponsored by New York's only Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet? It is a Buffalo Sabres game night. The Edmonton Oilers are in town tonight, and Connor McDavid is minus 150 to score a goal in tonight's game. We're talking DJ Supreme's Bachelor Weekend down in Florida, John Jones, the Stephon Diggs drama that was going on today. Maniacs talking about Tom Brady might be back before the show. I'm hearing about this. And also, the Knicks, they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Book it. Here we go.
You don't stop, you don't stop. Follow me into the great unknown, where pink flamingos grow. Diet soda flows and what you take magically regenerates. On supermarket shelves, the ovens clean themselves. You don't pay the tab till the last drop. So we all ride for nothing, 'cause this train never stops. Team, me and you, we do. You can scratch my back, and I'll scratch my back too. And everyone is welcome at the party, yeah. People, more is more. Are we all on board? You don't pay the tab till the last drop. So we all ride for nothing, 'cause this train never stops.
Folks, Trainwreck tonight, 284. Spring forward, sponsored by New York's only Outlet Liquor. Maniac, how the hell was your weekend?
It was a great weekend. I was loving your show intro. It was flawless. And then you had to bring up the damn Knickerbockers. Were they kidding with that timeline action last night? That was a pipe dream last night.
You absolutely killed me this morning when I woke up.
I could not believe what I was seeing. Oh, can't wait to see this matchup in late May. Like, are you guys serious? Like, literally, because you're playing one early March game in OC, like, insane.
Bro, your tweet was spot on because same thing. I went to bed around, I would say, 10:30. And I'm going through my tweets like 9 hours ago, 8 hours ago. It's all Knicks. It's all Knicks. Like, what is going on? Good win for them. Don't get me wrong. Double OT. Boston's got to travel tonight to go to Cleveland. I heard Tatum's out. But yeah, I mean, somehow Geary is just so excited to see the Knicks Celtics conference finals. And you put you
set it in stone. Definitely not going to be Giannis Celtics. Definitely going to be Randall Celtics. Are you serious?
Bro, you friggin' send out that tweet for the 42-1 Knicks.
42-1 to win the East. Not even to win the title. So funny, dude. Literally comical. And again, that's the love of it. I just love it because at the very root of it, it's why we do this show. It's why we do everything. There's overreaction in sports. There's passion unlike you ever see. And last night, whatever, Knicks fans were feeling it. But that was 1 out of 82 games. Like, are they really thinking that for a 7-game series, they're gonna be averaging 120 plus points per game on the Celtics? No. I don't think so.
And who was that guy on the Knicks that went off last night? He's supposed to be now the favorite to be the 6th man of the year.
Yeah, he did. He had a historic game. What was it? It was 35 points and 6-7 rebounds and assists.
Do you have
Number
it?
5. I'm trying to. I'm looking it
Like,
up
is
right
it
now.
like-
I
is
can
it
see
like
it. I can see him jumping around. with it.
Quiggleberry or
Wiggle,
something? Or,
quickly.
you got it?
Yeah, it was quickly.
Yeah. Bro, he was like 200-1 to win that award 2 months ago.
Well, this just shows you how in the NBA, one big game. I mean, again, I know it didn't all
Yeah.
happen last night, but you get some of these guys featured a little bit more. Some of these guys showcased a little bit more. Yeah, that's how it could happen.
So
But yeah, there's a lot going on this past weekend. So you had DJ Supreme's bachelor party on. We're pulling up some potential footage of that, some of the raucousness. Any other? So I think we got to begin with this. I had it at the last, but I'm moving it up because we'll get it out of the way quickly. This is how golf is supposed to be done. I know they can't script it. I know they can't make it happen this way, but if they could somehow, we need 6 to 8 guys in contention like every Sunday, at least till 1 or 2 p.m. And that's what we got this past week.
oh my gosh, I looked at the guy on the plane next to me. He had the tournament pulled up and he goes, there's what, 2 guys tied for first and 3 guys tied for second? That's incredible. I didn't see the finish. Our flight got delayed by an hour and 10 minutes. But yeah, I heard that that final round was absolutely ridiculous. And what, Kitayama got it done, right?
Yeah, Kitayama got it done. Hilarious, like putt at the end to like within literally a millimeter. His tap in was like a baby could have made the tap in that he had. Like, I'm not even joking. It was literally, he just had to hit the ball and it was going to be in. So it was very funny there. Yeah, I think there was one point where you had like Scheffler, Hatton, Kitayama, and everyone at -8. I think that was when Kitayama was at the 14th. I mean, that was what it was all about. Again, I know golf can't fix it. I know that, and in some ways the crowds love their dominant performances as well.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, okay, this is what the PGA like should strive to be about on a weekly basis.
And it's crazy because like weren't like after the first and second rounds, weren't people already pretty damn close to 10 under? So like the scores never shifted. It seemed like it was a battle for par.
And the scoreboard was way more blended up. Like, so yeah, you had people falling back. I think it was an absolute scene. But again, that's what the PGA should strive for, in my opinion. So we'll see if they're continuing to change the rules. So we'll see how much more they continue to shift there. Speaking of changing the rules, Sabres feel like they're changing the rules lately. You get schmacked. Absolutely schmacked. We were there courtesy of Outlet Liquor, who we were sponsored by the way, last Monday when we got schmacked by the Columbus Blue Jackets. How do they bounce back? Yeah, huge win over the Lightning. I guess that doesn't seem as attractive as it did a couple of days ago, though.
Hey, I'm not going to lie. It was pretty cool being down in the Tampa, St. Pete area and, at 12 o'clock asking, hey, can you please put on the Tampa Bay Lightning pregame show? And being able to watch that down there. Then we shifted bars, went to another place where I think it was Coconut Charlie's. You walk in, the guy sees the hat, he sees the Bills shirt and goes, he's talking about people he knew from Buffalo. I knew both of them.
Was this tank top?
This was tank top.
All right, let me get him up. Hold on. Let me see if we can get him pulled up here. Try not to release all my DMs into the Twitter sphere.
And he went to ECC. Where is he?
Here, I think we got this here. Here's that audio. All right, there we go.
This train never stops. Choo-choo! Let's go! This train never stops. Choo-choo! Let's go!
That man gets a certain look in his eyes when he says this train never stops.
Oh, he was so fired up right away. Brought up Buffalo, ECC, people that he knew. It was like Nick Delaney and Ronnie Lawrence, who I DM'd immediately after I took a picture with the guy and said that he was with them. And just such a small world. The first night I'm in Tampa, we go to Jimmy B's right on the water. A guy walks up to me because I'm wearing an Andre Reed jersey. He says he loves Andre. He's from Batavia. It's awesome. It was really cool.
Is this button shirt?
No.
Let me play this clip and then you tell me about this guy. It's the other clip you sent me.
No.
Marty here, drinking a water in the bar in Tampa because I can't drink an alcohol without having you reviewed. First, I'm a train wreck without you. We need you back.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Panhandle State, they want their Burrs back.
Marty was honestly upset that Burrs on the Rocks has disappeared. They want it back. The people want it back. This guy coming up to me, Marty, huge Trainwreck fan, huge Burrs on the Rocks. I literally drinking a water. And he did that. That was one take. He did that all himself.
Those were two naturals right there. Very, very natural. Like the Sabres win this past weekend over the Lightning. Not to mention, we also have the Sabres coming up in an hour and a half here, obviously, just under 90 minutes, and we will be in attendance, myself and Slick L. And breaking.
Who is it?
Dwayne Steinel will be in attendance to witness the downfall of Connor McDavid Buffalo. By the way, Al, the Sabres I was seeing today, they're the best team statistically against Connor McDavid in his career. He only has 12 points in 12 games against the Sabres.
I saw DiBiase tweet that out. It's the second worst points per game against any team that he's faced. I think the over 1.5 points is minus 200. That's crazy.
I like that because you know what? I like the Sabres to score some tonight. I think the Sabres, continue their kind of run here.
The over-under 7.5, and they play well against the West.
Yeah. This is exactly, you want a Western Conference matchup, exactly what the Sabres are looking for tonight. So hopefully they get it done. Yes. Are the Sabres favorites?
No, I don't think
okay.
so.
They're giving a lot of credit. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Let's see.
No, Oilers are minus 162 according to the Score app.
Okay, I'll take it. With all those goals to be scored, you never know what's going to happen. Speaking of, you never know what's going to happen, folks. You've seen it in the timeline. You've seen the little blurbs, and it is almost here. We are officially 1 week away from Selection Monday for the 2023 Buffalo bracket. Want to keep it under wraps for the time being, but very excited about this year's field out. We're going to be taking a couple of steps we've never taken before with the bracket. And I don't know. I think it's a thing where everyone acts like they're okay, cool. Like watch the selection show. And then once it starts, people start pulling their daggers.
Yeah. And people get upset very fast over what, doesn't make it, what does make it. Why did you name it this? Why is it this category? But yeah, I'm very excited. Like you said, we're a week away from that. We're 6 days away from Selection Sunday. This is arguably one of my favorite weeks of the year. You got the Players Championship this weekend. You have conference tournament week. Like this is a huge week. You got UB taking on Akron, I believe. They got swept this year by Akron. 6:30 in Cleveland Thursday night. Probably gonna need a little bit of a miracle there to move on a Friday in the semifinals. But no, a very, very exciting week in college basketball.
I want to say something right now. Let's get it on here. Shout out UB basketball. I'm going with a full banner shout out. Not only the men's qualifying for Cleveland, but the women's. Returning one player to the squad qualified for Cleveland. So they'll be in Vegas playing for that MAC trophy. # Drake trophies. Big shout out to them.
And I will be in Cleveland this weekend for that, women's and men's. I'm hoping the men's make it to Friday.
Breaking news: Al's in Cleveland this week.
I'm going back. I have to. It's been way too long. Those glory years of 2015 to 2019 before COVID hit were, some of the best times being a sports fan in general.
You have a soft spot for Cleveland. You're like, I don't know. It's just like you're one love. You're married to Buffalo, but you'll never forget about your high school sweetheart, Vegas.
That's absolutely spot on, Maniac. The plan was I was supposed to go to Columbus for round 1. That got botched. The leader of the group says, nope, we are going back to Cleveland where it all started. We had a crew of 14, 15 people. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, that is going to be insane. Speaking of which, again, 80 minutes till puck drop. ESPN Plus. So very, a lot of eyes on tonight's game in Buffalo. With that said, a lot of eyes on Much Ado About Nothing. This was even when you were putting the post, even when I was crafting it together, who cares?
Maniac, I don't even look at these.
This is for their own entertainment at this point. This is like getting, sucked into a reality show, right?
Who are the people that are searching who Diggs is following?
Because everyone knew it right around 1:45 p.m.
How did that happen so fast, dude? I don't look into this at all. I'm sorry. What, he tweet the heart emoji today? These players know what they're doing too. I'm not looking into this at all.
Absolutely.
I refuse. I refuse.
That was the reaction, so I'm happy about that. We're kind of over it. And again, I don't think this is even a boy who cried wolf.
Yep.
This is more just we know what we've seen on the field. We know what he said. You know, unless there's some, and again, I think the thing that's holding a lot of people on the ground is that $46 million cap hit, regardless of if we get rid of him. I thought to somebody said the cap hit, and I go, well, what if we trade him? And they go, no, we still have to pay it. So
Yeah,
I know that a lot of our friends like to say the cap isn't real out there, and I understand that, but yeah, it's real when you're paying $46 million. I know Bean is not working to give that away quickly.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw up, Al.
You broke that news to me.
Yeah, I saw you, and I said it to you, and you did like a reaction when a villain returns after like 3 movies.
I mean, dude, what do we? I mean, this is whatever, but this is not the first time we've heard this, dude. Right?
No, not like this. My Brady to Miami goes back now to 2020.
Yeah, this is years of speculation and talking about this. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, does Tom do it again after that?
Here's a question. Am I even worried about Brady at this point? He's not throwing deep bombs to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So what? He's going to be throwing like 8-yard outs to him, slant routes all day, just reading the defense in Miami? Is that what I'm worried about? I'm almost like, if they have to pull some Rochambeau to like get him in Miami, I almost think that's like good for the Bills. Like, just make it crazy in Miami.
Who would you be more worried about, Brady or Tua?
It's close. I'm kind of worried about Tua at this point. He's gotten better under McDaniel, for sure.
Yeah.
McDaniel or Tua, McDaniel definitely has an amazing system, and I would say he turned Tua into what, a top 12 quarterback, and he's mobile. Brady has no mobility, and you almost know for a fact. I don't want to like guarantee this, but did he throw like a 50+ yard touchdown in the air last year?
I mean, maybe yards after the catch.
Like, but I'm saying he was not throwing deep fades to like Evans, things like that. So I just feel like that's not in his repertoire at this age.
Like, you have to admit, Maniac, like there was a kind of like, maybe serious is an overreaction, but like it kind of was a pretty big drop off from Brady the year before.
Big time drop, dude. Bro, remember when he was the thing that was really saving him, literally saving his existence, was he was doing these like fluke comebacks from down like 13-3, and when they were down like 10-0 with like 5 minutes to go. Like, that was what he was doing. He wasn't bringing them back from down 31-7, like, right? Like, he was getting so much pub. It's like he's like doing the fist bumps. He's in ba 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 ba. We ain't going. You know, he's playing every week. Like, it's just, you know, he masked the season almost in those comebacks. I mean, I think it's exactly like you said. When you look at paper, I don't think anyone doubts that there was a massive fall off last year. Yeah. Now, can he rub some El Chupacabra stem cells and become like Bartolo Colon? Like, you know, has he got to look like, maybe? I don't know. Shout out Ben Z on the Chupacabra. But yeah, no, I do not think this is a situation, you know, where we should be worried about, I guess.
No, I'm not going to overreact to it. No.
Now, I know Miami fans would probably love.
This love never stops.
Was that what you were tapping about? You were hearing this love never stops coming through?
No, yeah, I couldn't hear you. It sounded really.
My bad. I was saying, speaking of a love that would never stop, and then I pulled that up. But yeah, that was a scene. You never know what you'll run into in the airport. And that was on your way back?
Yes, that was on the way home. And Maniac, I wanted to ask you before the show, and I forgot. What was the hashtag me and you created in the Baltimore or Charlotte airport when we saw a couple fighting? Don't you remember that?
Yeah. Oh, no, I remember that for sure. It was. I'll never be able to forget that as long as I'm alive. That argument. What were they having in front of like a Chili's or like something? Yeah, like they were just screaming at each other. Like, it was screaming, and then it was quiet, and then it was like, you know, back and forth, a lot of arms like going in the air and everything. I think it was this love never stops. We were pushing, like, for sure.
Didn't it end where like they were kissing again?
Yeah, they were back. It ended with them leaving, like with him holding like her bag. Like, that was, I think, the visual signal that, you know, they were good.
And weren't we acting like Almeida, Jack Bauer, like getting behind?
Sure, dude, we were, bro. That was I mean, I think I was doing, you know, and that was 2019. I think I was doing like 20 to 30 likes on like every tweet from that Chain Plus, like, because just people were so invested.
That's what that reminded me of, and let's just say it was going on for minutes, and people were just.
Oh, filming. So there was a valley before that peak.
Oh, dude, no, like what I filmed was happening for minutes.
Yeah.
Like the same position, look. There was no movement. It's like their heads were attached at the mouth, and that's it. Nothing else. I've never seen anything like it. And everyone was filming at one point, and they did not care. They didn't move. And it made me think of the hashtag from our one road trip back.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to be careful when people are filming in public spots.
Yes, you do.
Something to look out for. Shout out sign-offs. Who you got? We already gave an early shout out UB basketball, by the way. Again, both teams making it to Cleveland. That's all you could ask for at the beginning of the year. With that said, you got anybody else? Maybe a server from your Tampa trip, or maybe the host, the Airbnb host.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the best man. Honestly, picking out Matt Torito, picking out that Airbnb down.
That
in
looked
St.
amazing. The putting green.
The putting green in the back, the pool. I was up at like 6:30 every day, laying out on the hammock because I'm a redhead, Swedish, Scottish, Irish. I don't take the sun does not do good to me, so I'm out early before the UV gets too heavy. Was loving the sun rays, 80 and sunny pretty much every day, and yeah, we ended up watching UFC and John Jones Saturday night. That was kind of the nightcap before we headed home, and I mean, Jones wins in 2 minutes or something like that. Stupid.
That reminded me of when Lesnar came back.
Yeah.
Lesnar started as a dog, eventually became like a favorite by the time it was all done, to the point where you're like, that Mark, I forget who he went against, Mark something. Like, I just remember he had a very basic name.
Yep.
But you're like, how could this guy win? But sometimes talent just gets it done. And obviously John Jones has shown no matter what the challenge is, he's got the talent for it.
35 years old out of Crapchester, New York. Unbelievable.
Your favorite spot. Your Jones Bros.
Yes.
Shout out everybody for tuning in. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure you're following on all the platforms.
Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
Getting it done. We got a lot coming up. Obviously, it is March Madness. Don't forget about the Race Across America. Wing reviews new every Wednesday, Friday. We got happy hour hoops. We got so much going on. Shout out for you for following along, and shout out to our sponsor, Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case, whether it's a Monday Night Sabres game or any March Madness game coming up. Shout out you, Al. Shout out everyone, and everyone going to the Sabres game tonight. Say what up. Say this train never stops, because let's get a win and make sure that we have a good
night.
now.